It's able to have No Time to Die, and it isn't really performing that well domestically. Again, Bond movies don't really perform that really great domestically. Bond has always been more of an international series and more popular with older people. As I said, mostly younger people are watching movies in theater, which is odd considering the fact that younger audiences, out in it's the Netflix generation, the Disney Plus generation, the streaming generation. But No Time to Die isn't really doing that amazing at the box office. It might be another flop at the box office, but we of course comparing it to the other big releases of the year. So Shang-Chi, which it is being beaten by Shang-Chi, which opened with 75 billion yen. It is definitely gonna be like movies like Jungle Cruise, Black Widow, which opened with 49 million yen, F9, F9 The Fast Saga, which is doing worse than that movie, obviously, as well. And of course, Venom, which is doing worse than all these movies. But it's still poised to become one of the highest openings of the year. 23 million is not a pretty bad weekend. It is likely going to open 60 plus million yen. Likely go open well. Again, No Time to Die is another 4 weekender. Yep, consider it is releasing on the Columbus Day weekend. I know Twitter's could be mad because I said Columbus Day, but I'm not saying the Twitter name for the holiday, which they changed it is People's Day. But I'm gonna call it Columbus Day because that's what they taught us at school. It's called Columbus Day. So yeah, No Time to Die opened with 23 million. Again, like with Shang-Chi, it's a 4-day weekender. It's a 4-day weekender. The best comparison, I believe, is probably A Quiet Place Part 2. 2. 2. Which A Quiet Place Part 2 actually only opened to 19 million, but ended up opening up 47 million. But because of the 4-day weekend, it will likely open with 70 million. It will likely drop down to around 19 million at second weekend. Actually, if you do the math, it will be around 50 million it was a weekend and 60 million for a day, which would be pretty good for No Time to Die. But again, if you compare it to other Bond movies, which means you have to remove A Quiet Place, remove F9, remove Shang-Chi, remove Black Widow, remove F9 again, remove Venom, and let's compare it to Skyfall and Spectre. It is a much more fair comparison. Bond movies typically have pretty good ratings at the domestic box office, and No Time to Die is performing worse than Spectre. And Spectre still ended at 200 million domestic box office. Again, No Time to Die is opening on a holiday weekend. Again, and we can compare it to several Bond movies. These essentially various Bond movies, and it is performing similar to movies like Quantum of Solace and Spectre, the modern Casino Royale. Quantum of Solace, I think, is probably the best comparison because they have the same budget basically, 240 to 250 million, and Quantum of Solace made 591 million. I think No Time to Die will likely make similar to Casino Royale and Quantum of Solace. Not really Spectre and Skyfall numbers. Which isn't really good for the franchise, but it will likely do around those numbers domestically. Around 170 million to 165 million. It's not likely gonna gross. And it really just depends on the movie's legs. If the movie does around $200 million or $250 million, then it has pretty good legs. It really depends on how leggy this movie is. But it will likely open end at Casino Royale and Quantum Solace, which is pretty well domestically. and it will likely perform internationally like 500 million, considering how it has been breaking records in the UK. But the record breaking thing does not really apply in America. Bond is not really the biggest, doesn't really have the biggest audience here, and has never really opened above 100 million domestically, which is no surprise considering the series. Bond has really mostly been a more European franchise, a franchise that appealed way more to Europeans than Americans. And I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see another James Bond movie for a while, considering how it. And the best comparison is probably with Casino Royale, as a movie. It really depends on this movie's legs. Whereas Casino Royale had pretty good legs, and it is outperforming Casino Royale. But Casino Royale had pretty good legs considering it had a couple of holidays ahead of it. So really wait to see how well it does on the weekend. And again, this movie does have a 4-day weekend. So, yeah. But it won't be the highest opening of a spy movie this year, considering that Black Widow opened at 80 million. And at this current point, No Time to Die is not going to pass 80 million opening weekend. But it might have legs on the weekend compared to Black Widow, though. So it might open with 60 million if it opens 20 million plus on Saturday and Sunday day. And it opens with another 20 million on Columbus Day. It might beat Black Widow with the 4-day weekend. So that's basically it about this video. Goodbye.